Hello and welcome to a Lego knockoff review. Today we're going to be taking a look at Super Wars Heroes Marvel Avengers Infinity War Gray, aka not elemental, not fire elemental. So the packaging this came in was basically one of those bubble packages. It had no box. This is what the set comes in, pretty much. So without further ado, we're gonna open this thing up and see what's inside. And already have some pretty good hopes for it. So here is the instructions manual. Apparently it has a shooting function and activation joint. Active joint. Wow, active joint. My goodness. Apparently it is 20 centimeters tall, but we'll put that to the test. So this is the instructions. So I can't wait to dig into this. Okay, so here are some of the smaller parts. There is a little bit of a flake with the parts. The printing here is a little shoddy. The print is a little shoddy. It's not as high quality as I would hope, but what do you expect? It is a knockoff. But anyways, question of the day is, how durable does these joints feel? Well, the plastic quality is good. I feel like it has good enough flex to it. It has a nice translucent. So let's go take a look at the parts here. So you do get, and let me angle this down. So you do get 4 of these. You get 2 transparent orange feet. You get 1 of these. You get 2 of these. And you'll also get 2 of these. 1 of these. And you do get some bones as well. This 30... okay, the printing on this one is actually pretty good. It's a lot better than the one over there on the chest. It's a lot more nicer. It's a lot more nicer. So, and also the friction adders, they have no friction. Nada. There's no friction in the friction adders. And you also got your blaster kind of thing. Got your shell armor. The quality still feels pretty good. Okay, so let's go see how durable these joints are. I'm gonna test it out with this. So it tabs pretty well. Let me grab Pohatu here. And compared to official Lego, it still tabs pretty well. Now, joints wise, it is tight. Way too tight. Let's see. The sockets are very tight, but the ball joints themselves are at the right tolerance. So be careful when assembling this, because the tolerances of the joints are tight. So keep that in mind when working with this, because the tolerances are pretty tight. But anyways, without further ado, let's go straight into assembly. Some of these parts are a little bit dirty. I don't know what it's been through, but they're pretty dirty, some of them. I don't like that. I do not like that. So let's go ahead and assemble this guy. and see how well. Now, I'm nervous about the feet because I kind of like the feet. Hello and welcome to the Let's Build section of the video. Now, I'm not going to be doing any parts listing, mainly because, you know, this is a knockoff build, so take it as you will. Now, when I was building this, I noticed that I couldn't really get the pin into that axle hole. Because the tolerances were so bad on this figure. So I actually had to switch it around the other side. And then when I tried to get the one pin out, to switch it on the other side so that I can actually get it to connect. It was a pain. It was giving me more trouble than what it was worth. And it wasn't a very satisfactory build, honestly. But yeah, so... Now, over here, I am constructing, like, the function, like the gearbox that it has, which is exactly the same as one, I think his name was Basher, from Hero Factory Invasion from Below. It's the same function. I kid you not. It's the same exact function, except the arm is posable. And as you can see, I put a loose pin in there, and it expects you to put the rod in that opening of that pin after it's been connected. But as you can see, it does not fit at all. It wants you to put it in there, but it just won't fit. So again, the tolerances aren't the best on this. Now, even though it does say to use the friction adders, you honestly really don't need the friction adders. Mainly because, like, the sockets themselves are tight. Like I said earlier, they're extremely tight. So there's really no point at all for having those friction adders to begin with, except for just making the figure taller. Because there's no rubber inserts. It's heavily relying on tension. But because of those tight tolerances, after a while of leaving them connected, they're going to start stressing the plastic and crack. Yes, these CCBS parts, if you have those sockets connected into a ball joint, you're gonna see stress marks. That is something that you're going to keep seeing a lot because the longevity of those pieces aren't as good as actual Lego. No surprise there. Also, when handling with those plastic chains, like, something felt off about them. It's the same material that they use for the studs in this set, and it just feels cheap. Very cheap. It doesn't give a good satisfactory feel when building this figure. You know, it leaves much more to be desired, which is kind of a shame. But yeah, be careful if you do decide on getting this figure. I still, like, I don't think it's worth getting, but we'll talk more about that in the end of the video. But it's not as satisfactory as I would have hoped. Plus, I'm not so sure if I'm going to be using these pieces for a future mock, especially with the transparent orange parts, because they're not the same darker orange as like the official Lego CCBS shell pieces, as well as the bones. You know, it's not that darker orange. It is the lighter shade of orange used in the 2016 Bionicle Lava Beast. You know, that with the toes. You know, Lava Beast's toes. That same color is the color of those CCBS shells that you see. And right now I am building the arm of the creature. And right now I'm just trying to align the fingers just so that they can fold up and open and close like it is depicted. Because of the active joint thing that they
advertised about. And of course, now I'm going to start making the traffic light, which is going to be going on arm. There's a lot of small parts sticking out throughout his model as well. Like, I would just say be careful when handling it. Though there's not too many like small like parts sticking out, but there's just enough where a little caution is necessary. Honestly, at least that's in my opinion. Like, it does need some of that caution when building. And as you can see, the function still works even though that system rod is not in the back, because there's still that resting point. And as you can see, on the moving part of the arm, you are attaching the CCBS shell. Now, and here comes another CCBS shell, which I do like. It feels good quality. I think, speaking about tolerances, the shells are the better way to go in terms of tolerance. The tolerances are just right with the shells. It's the bones that are the issue. So if you just use the shells, you are good to go. And despite that CCBS shell being there on the shoulder, it doesn't get in the way of the function. Just to clarify. Now we're going to be building the left arm, as you are seeing right now. And honestly, that's the best part of this set. Hands down, the best part of that set is that left arm, because of how that blaster was made. It's very cool. It's quite honestly amazing, and I love every single bit of it. It is such a unique thing in terms of concept. And I definitely might do something like that for a future build, because it's just that good. I really like the originality of that. You know, that's so even though the set itself may not be the best in terms of building experience, but that hand alone is just god tier. Which is surprising to say, especially when it comes to a knockoff Lego set. But that is, I am being legitimately honest there. Like, that is the best part of that set. And I am honestly looking forward to making a mock using a similar design to that. Now, yet again, I may do some changes, but still, it's just that good. And as you notice, I'm questioning myself right now if I got the CCBS bone right, and I thought I did. But then it's like, wait a minute. Something's wrong here. And it turns out, yeah, something is wrong. I did build it wrong. It's hard to tell when it comes to that section of the instructions, because it's not really clear in how you connect that arm. Now, we're getting into the head. Now, I was very disappointed when I was building this head, because when building it, I thought, at least in the images and the rendered images of the figure, I thought it was a new mold for connecting that CCBS shelf space on, and turns out that's not the case, and it looks very shoddy at the side. I do not like that at all when it comes to that. Honestly, you'll have it's not the best at all. I don't like it. But hey, what are you gonna do? But yeah, there's the build. I'm pretty happy with it. I really like it a lot. And now we're going to be building Lantern, which is like the final touches of it. So, without further ado, after I connect this lamppost on, let's go straight into the review section of this video. And here we are.
All right, so Gray is now built. Now he does leave off with a whole bunch of spare parts. Just look at this plethora, this pile, if you will, of look at all these studs. He comes with a ton of studs and other parts. Now, earlier in the build, I did like show like that this part does not really connect the way that they want you to connect it, which is kind of like a shame, but hey, they didn't really get the tolerances down, but it is a ton of studs. So if in case if you lose any, you got plenty where that came from. Now, for how tall this character actually is, it did say it was 10 centimeters, so it's like about 7.5 inches tall. Hold on, let me do it so you guys can actually see it. It's about like 7.5 inches tall, and the centimeter measurement will be right up in the corner. Anyways, let's go straight into articulation. Bull joint over in the ankles, bull joint over at the knees, bull joint over in the upper leg, bull joint here, bull joint here, bull joint here, bull joint here, bull joint here. Nothing in the wrist. Bull joint over in the neck. Now, with this build, the thing that I like about it is this. The chains. I like that a lot. However, this should at least connect somewhere, I feel. And I wouldn't mind if it connected like right here. I mean, you do have the parts, so you can just easily get this here, this Exoforce clip part and just have that there. Like, if you just do that, then it will look a bit nicer, at least I feel. And you can still get the arm swaying function to work. You know, it has that magma vibe that it's trying to go for with this. So all in all, I would probably give this set like a, it's not the best. It's not the best, but if you were to get this in terms of like just build satisfaction wise, I'm gonna have to give it like a 3 out of 10. It's not terrible. It's not a terrible thing to build, but it's definitely not also the most enjoyable. You know, it's a rather lackluster build. Now for the function, because it does have a function, is this. It works pretty well. It works. I have no complaints with it, but again, tolerances, printing could be better. The parts, best part about it is the parts. Like, you get these transparent orange feet, transparent orange thighs, transparent orange. Like, it's a nice orange. It just doesn't match with the other oranges that you get. But I mean, it's close enough. It is close enough. I think you'll get pretty much good enjoyability out of it. But anyways, that is it for now. I hope you all enjoyed, and like always, if you want to go ahead and purchase this in AliExpress, link in the description. I mean, the only real value it has for me personally is the parts. But anyways, that's a bit all for now. I hope you all enjoy. The fire elemental just destroyed everything. Congratulations. Okay, well anyways, I hope you all enjoyed. And like always, I'll see you all in the next one. Bye guys.